You ready to
Thank
ignite
you
OKC?
so much. Give me a flamethrower, please. Hi, guys. How you doing? As she said, I'm Heather Spencer. I'm known as Mrs. Cleveland County. Thank you very much. This is my actual crown. I wear a lot of hats. This is my most favorite one right now, besides being a mother and a wife and a daughter. This is where I come from. Deep South Side, Oklahoma City. I'm talking deep South Side. Okay? It was normal to see the police helicopter over our neighborhood at least once a week. So I grew up like this. My lovely mother sitting over here, she was a teen mom, so therefore we grew up pretty poor. And my parents got married very early. As you can see, I would not have survived urban public schools. So they took on extra jobs to put me through private school. These were our actual rabbit ears. We didn't know what cable was. Not until at least I got into high school. And I learned how to ride my bike round and round and round in the neighbor's driveway because our road was unpaved. This man is my daddy-o. Unfortunately, he is no longer with us. I continue to fight for him every single day because he died from pancreatic cancer. And he taught me a lot of lessons in life. One of those, remember where you come from. This means to remember your roots, to know where you come from. Can any of you tell me that? Can you honestly say that you remember everything about your childhood and how it shapes you? I can. And, you know, Jesus can't keep up with me. He can't keep up with my sisters either. And these were many lessons that our parents taught us. And among those lessons would be, how to put together your own electronics, and that ET phoned home, and so should you. Especially if that boy you were with got a little handsy. And I do apologize to the boy whose hand I broke back in junior high. Be glad it wasn't your nose. So at least, though, there's one lesson my dad couldn't teach me, was how to be graceful. This was my first time on a mountain. I had to be carried off by medics. I've fallen off of my roof. My parents and my husband and the rest of my family want to wrap me in Charmin. I actually have bruises from moving stuff yesterday. So, but as there's no crying in baseball, there's also no crying in pageantry. Now, in pageantry, you can't cry unless you walk away with the crown. This was not the crown I walked away with, unfortunately. But I stumbled big time in the Mrs. Oklahoma International pageant. And this dress right here was held up with boob tape. This stuff is great for waxing, let me tell you. Too bad I don't have any. But, you know, my dress, as I was walking across the stage, I tripped over it, and I nearly flashed the judges. I kid you not. Some of you, a couple of you were actually at the pageant, and you saw me, but you didn't see these. Because fortunately, I was wearing something underneath it that was the same color. It's too bad that this wasn't my platform. It was pancreatic cancer, but I love boobs too. So, but, you know, all of these different things always come back to the same thing. It came back to remember where you come from. Can you say it with me? Exactly. This is what my husband kept telling me as I was backstage. He said, remember what your dad said. Remember where you come from. This is why you're doing this. This is why you are going across that stage. So what do? Put the girls back into place and keep walking across the stage. You know, he also taught me one other thing. Some of you have heard me on Twitter say, finding my inner quack. Now, this little guy here, he already has his quack. It means to let it roll off, and that's what I had to do, was to put my makeup back on, keep walking across the stage. I walked away with these beauties, as well as Mrs. Congeniality. Woohoo! However, that's the only thing I have in common with Sandra Bullock. So, being nice and stumbling, awesome. Now, the women that I met at the Mrs. Oklahoma International Pageant, we did not have to show off our beauty, per se, by wearing stuff like this. So this man, I'm not going to even bother with telling you about style. You know, he's a Comic Sans. But Shakespeare had it right when he said, to thine own self be true. You need to remember where you come from. You see all these celebrities who make these major foobarrs in life, and they're public. You know, don't get me wrong, I've had foot and mouth disease for most of my life, but there's one thing that I have to remember. I have to remember that I am only human. I came from very humble beginnings, And humans were not meant to be put up on pedestals. They also were not meant to wear 4.5-inch heels. Thank you very much.